Good morning, this is Sarah, your imperfect carnivore in the UK. Last night I sat down and I wrote about the 10 hows and the 10 whys of why I'm now going to be a success. I've never felt this strong. Something has gone off. Something has switched. I have stopped saying I may not be perfect. Something has switched. And last night I thought, let's do a video that I can refer back to on a weekly basis to check out. 10 whys and 10 hows. What's really interesting is you'll notice that, and this wasn't deliberate, by the way, my 10 whys, nothing about them was to do with weight. Interesting. I think if you can get to a point where your 10 whys are all health-based, and in the spur of the moment, in that brainstorming session, you didn't write anything to do with your weight, then you're going to do it. Because as you know with me, because I've messed around for so long, my body has become so super stubborn that now I can't lose weight anyway. So it has to be about the health. Has to be. There's no point in discussing the weight because that's going to come later when my body is sorted out the other whys. So let's rattle them off. Okay, let's not make this video any more than 10 minutes. So let's go. My turning point reasons. I've just done them as I thought of them, not in order of importance. Okay. Number one, I've worked out that this might seem silly, but I was measuring my navel around my tummy, my waist measurement in the wrong place. I was measuring my waist measurement wrong. I thought my waist measurement was about 37 inches. Turns out I'm measuring it completely in the wrong place and it's actually 40. Okay, so bad. So if you want a really good biomarker of health, you've got to have, if you're a female, a waist measurement of less than 35, and it's got to be around slightly above the belly button. So if you want all the good biomarkers of good health and not having a heart attack later in life, it's got to be less than 35, just above the navel. I am 5 inches heavier than that, just around my navel. That's point one. That's a red flag to me. Not happy. So point one, realizing that my waist measurement was actually worse than I thought. Agony in the feet. And this agony in the feet is contributed to having a hard time at work, and also never going to my favorite thing in the world, Zumba dancing. After a day at work, the soles of my feet and my plantar fasciitis is so painful. I can barely get to the car, let alone imagine going to Zumba later. And if you've ever had plantar fasciitis before, you will know that resting doesn't help because it makes the muscles seize up, tighten up, more pain when you stand up. Not good. Number three, trouble getting up off the floor. This is a relatively new thing for me. It's partly because of all the inflammatory food I'm eating, and also partly to do with the enormous weight I'm carrying around. You know, my ideal weight is probably 70 pounds less than what I am now. And I pretty much feel certain that if I lost that, I wouldn't have any trouble getting up off the floor anymore. What I really need to do is order myself 70 pounds of potatoes and just try and lift them. And I will be, I think, very shocked. So yeah, once it's getting to the point now where I have to brace myself to get myself up, not happy about that. It makes you feel incredibly old when you're having to brace yourself to get up. And then when you do get up, your feet hurt so much, you're then hobbling around. I feel about 90 years old when I'm getting up off the floor. Not good. Point number four, the mystery pains in the body, you know, that just inflammation everywhere, really. Ankles, elbows. Obviously, I had a muscular pain in the tummy. And this leads me on to number five, unhealed injuries. My body seems to be getting to a point where things that would have gone away quickly when I was younger are not going away quickly. You know, I twisted my ankle falling over the chicken in the garden, which is funny, but it's not funny that a few months later, it still hasn't healed. I also hurt my other foot doing Zumba. That one hasn't healed. That's a year old, that injury now. And I've heard so many stories of people saying, they go carnivore, old injuries are healing up. I think people just assume that because you're older, that things just take longer to get better. And I think it's just shitty diet. So that's kind of number four and number five rolled into one. Pains in the body, and then they're not going away. Number six, severe monthly pain in the womb. Severe. it does vary with me, but last month, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had the worst monthly pain I've ever had. And it was so bad, I had like ibuprofen, and then half an hour later, I had some paracetamol. I was at work, so I needed to get rid of the pain, and I was willing. It was so bad, I was even willing to risk an overdose to get rid of this pain. After about 45 minutes, I still hadn't got rid of the pain, which is bad for me. That is a long time to wait. So I then had some more ibuprofen, and then it went. So I risked an overdose because of period pain. And I have heard countless stories of women saying that when they've done carnivore for a long time, or even a moderate amount of time, their pains have gone away and have become more manageable. So that's now on my turning point job. I cannot be in a job where I am buckled over in pain anywhere in my body. So that's getting sorted. I've also got a little mole on my back. It's not that bad. It's not getting any bigger. My husband and I are keeping an eye on it. As you know, I don't go to doctors, so we're just keeping an eye on it, monitoring the situation. I've heard so many people saying that that kind of thing goes away. You know, age spots and things like that. I know these aren't really, there are some things that are more health-wise, some are more vanity-wise, but age spots and skin tags and things like that, you know, things dropping off, your body going through autophagy and moles coming off, age spots coming off, you know, skin tags. And then number 8, dental health. You know, I'm panicking about needing something done and having an injection in my mouth and not knowing what's in the injection. If I'm somebody who's avoiding the pharmaceutical industry, I need to be avoiding tooth problems so that I don't need to have dental work done, so that I don't need to be injected with God knows what into my gums. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying any further than that, otherwise I'll get banned on the channel. Also, number 9, hitting 10 years and realizing I'm still struggling. In December this year, it will be 10 years since I found carnivore, and the thought of being still struggling just fills me with horror, frustration, and nausea. The thought of it. The thought of doing a video and saying, I found carnivore 10 years ago and I'm still not doing it. Yay. No. And number 10, this is always my big one. Frustration that I can't help other people. I want other people to get better around me, and all the while I'm carrying extra weight, they're not listening. So, how am I going to do this? My new best friend, Dave Mack, and his new best friend, Anthony Fazy, who came on his channel, saying, how are you going to do it? You know why? You've got all the knowledge. You know all the good things that are going to happen, but how are we going to go from that to that? Number 1, kiss your old ass goodbye. Or as we say in the UK, kiss your ass goodbye. But I'll say ass for my American counterparts. I'm going to kiss my old ass goodbye. What does that mean? If I want to be a whole new version of myself, I have to be prepared to kiss goodbye to my old lifestyle, my old habits, my old kind of personality to a certain extent. I mean, I'm still going to be me, but I need to kiss goodbye to all of those things that were holding me back. My old lifestyle needs to end. It needs to go. I need to step onto a higher platform, a new me. And that means kissing goodbye to the old me. So, number 1, kiss my ass goodbye. Number 2, eat meat like it's your job. Eat meat like it's your job, Sarah. Like you're the boss of the meat. Basically, do not try and tweak. Absolutely do not try and tweak. Don't worry about your protein. Don't worry about your fat. Do not do any intermittent fasting. Don't do anything. Just eat your meat. When you're hungry, eat your meat. When you're thirsty, drink your water, and repeat and rinse and repeat, and do not think about anything else, and just eat it like it's a boss, like you're the boss, your job. Yeah. Number 3, cook too much food. That is important to me because there has been plenty of times in the past, loads of times in fact, lost count of the amount of times that I've started cooking and I'm doing like burger patties, for example, and I think, well, 2 quarter pounders is probably enough. I get to the end of those 2 quarter pounders and realize I am actually still hungry, and then I can't actually be bothered to cook again. So now I need to overcook. Not overcook as burn anything, but overcook as in cook too much. Every time, cook too much. So I've got cold food in the fridge, and then when I do eat, I am getting that comfortably stuffed Thanksgiving full feeling that I'm supposed to be getting. So if you're not that hungry when you start cooking, just cook loads anyway. Fill the oven up. If you're cooking chicken thighs in the oven, put 100 in there. Don't just put 4 in there. I don't tend to do just 4, but I think you know what I mean. And remember that a strong why makes an easy how. Keep referring back to your whys, and then that will make your hows really super easy. Number 5, lose your scales and your tape measure. Lose all measuring devices. Because some people will say, lose your scales, but measure yourself. No. Measuring myself doesn't work either, because my body loses weight so incredibly slowly that even the tape measure is not moving. So there's no point. I will know if the weight has started to come off, and it's none of my business until I get there. It will tell me. It will say, Sarah, that skirt just fell off you. Maybe you're losing a bit of weight. Done. Also, the reason that is so important is because if you're going to be carnivore for the rest of your life, what you weigh is none of your business. Don't worry about it. In fact, I may never weigh myself ever again, because if I'm going to be carnivore for health for the rest of my life, what I weigh is irrelevant. Number 6, get out of your own way. Your body knows what it wants. Your mind knows what it wants. Your whole body is trying to heal right now. Every time you get up in the morning, your body is in healing mode and going, I'm going to heal today. And what do people do? Shove shit down their throat, and the body's going, okay, maybe I'm not going to do any healing today. We're just going to deal with this toxic shite that he or she has just poured down their neck. We're not going to do healing today. I've cancelled that. I've cancelled it. Get out of your way. Get out of your body's way. It knows what to do. Human bodies are seriously, seriously intelligent, and we are in their way. Get out of the way. Number 7, make sure that your life is set up for success. This is where my changing job comes in. I'm not going to go on too much about that because I've done a lot of videos about that. My old job was set up for failure. My new job, I really, really believe, is set up for success. Try and, if nothing else, for the next 6 to 12 months, make sure that you set your life up in a way that's going to get you through. Because somebody said, I can't remember who, I've watched so many Dave Matt videos in the last few days that I just can't remember who said what. But one person did say that they've been carnivore 9 years, and the last 8 years have been easy. It was the first year that was the hardest. So for the next 12 months, make sure that you're setting up your environment for success. If that means don't go out with your friends for that particular meal that you're worried about, just don't. Just don't. Find something else to do. And then when you have got to a year and you are stronger and you can just go out and say, I'm fine with my glass of water, thank you, then do it. Your friends are still going to hang around for you, and if they're not really your friends. And also, on that note, don't worry about what people think. Don't pander. Don't pander. Actually, no, that's point 9. I jumped ahead of myself. Point number 8. Eat cheese if you absolutely have to. Cheese has become now my thing that I am going to eat if the shit hits the fan. So, for example, you've just rushed a family member to hospital and you happen to be hungry and you really want to treat yourself, go and get some cheese. Sod it. Just get some cheese. You can give it up again when your life returns to normal again. You know, life always does settle down. Every time there's a crisis, life always does settle down afterwards. Another thing, I'm going on holiday with my family in a couple of weeks. Cheese is something that I'm not going to have as a regular food, but if it pisses down with rain all week and we're all shouting at each other, I am going to get those familiar feelings back of wanting to comfort eat. And I've decided that cheese can be that thing. Cheese won't send me off the wagon, but it will comfort me in that moment. And when I get back from holiday, go back to no cheese. Number 9, don't eat to the clock or pander to other people's social expectations. Don't eat to please people. And that includes your direct family. Last night, I didn't eat with my family. I actually ate 2 hours later, and I didn't care. Luckily, we've reached a point in our family life where they don't care. They just really want mummy to be successful. So if I need to not eat then and eat then, they are kind of accepting of that now. They just are sick of hearing about this and want me to be successful. And I think they know better than to say, oh, why are you not eating with us, mummy? I just think they just know better than to ask me. And then, hour and a half, 2 hours later, I was hungry. I cooked some bacon and eggs, ate them in the garden, feet on the ground, grounding. So happy. But I wasn't pandering to the clock. I wasn't pandering to their social expectations. I wasn't eating something because someone had cooked me something. I've got to not pander. When you make a mistake, it's you that's reeling from it. Do you hear me? When someone's made you a cake, especially, and you end up eating it, who ends up suffering? Not them. They've forgotten about it. The day after, they've forgotten about it, but you're still suffering the sugar cravings, the disappointment, the frustration, the anger, the disappointment, oh God, that's another 6 months off the wagon. Don't pander and don't do things just to keep other people happy. You are the captain of your ship and you need to be happy. Don't worry what anyone thinks. That's finished. And number 10, burn your boats. Burn your boats comes from the Carnivore pensioner channel. He said, do something dramatic. He said, throw a load of food away. Well, I'm obviously living with carb addicts, so I'm not going to do that. But what I can do is I can make a statement now by selling 10 items of clothing that I know are the bigger items of clothing. There are a few things that I bought specifically for my job, and I'm expecting when I go back to work them to be a bit big on me. And next summer, when they're back in season, they are going to be too big on me, and I'm selling them. So I'm going to photograph and sell 10 things. Maybe 5, maybe 10, whatever, but I am going to sell and give away some bigger clothes to charity. That is burning the boats. That is saying, I'm not going back. Next summer, I'm not wearing those things. I'm not. End of it. Finished. So, they were my... we've actually gone over the 10 minutes. I'm going to watch this video back when I need to, because I think it's important. And now we're right at the end of this video. I'm going to make it a 20-minute video. I've just changed my mind, because I've got my list of benefits, the things that I have actually visualized, actually seen myself, and also the things I'm still waiting for. So let's run through those quickly and let's get to 20 minutes. The things that I know I've fixed already in myself: gastritis, psoriasis, mood/motivation, enthusiasm/hope, joint pain. Obviously that comes and goes. I have witnessed it go away and come back, so I know it's food related. Veins. I've seen veins come back and go again, so I know that there's a link there somewhere, possibly due to blood pressure. Don't know, but I've seen it come and go. Preventing massive obesity. I'm still going to wave the flag for I'm not, very severely obese. And I've managed my blood sugars, got them into range. My sleep is beautiful, and I've got a perfect blood panel, and doctors can't find anything wrong with me. Now, here's the things on the other side of the page. Hopefully I'll still do this in 20 minutes. The other things that I'm now working towards, I've heard other people say it. Skin tags. That's going to be gone now. Age spots. Got an age spot there. Body odours. I've heard you can go without deodorant. Great. Foot pain. Need to get rid of that. I want to be able to get up off the floor easily. I want my hair to be thicker and nicer. I want to be slimmer. That one is a weight-related one. With a healthy waist of less than 35 inches. I want better teeth so I don't have to go to the dentist. I want to be fat adapted so I can feel what it's like to go without food for a whole day and not be hungry. What's that? I want to be insulin sensitive, and I've got a mole on the back that I want to get rid of. And to avoid, these are things my mum had wrong with her. These are what I'm avoiding. Hysterectomy, thyroidectomy, hip or knee replacement, cancer, dementia and Alzheimer's, that was my nan. Heart disease, heart attack, that was some other relative. Full-on diabetes, that was my granddad. Depression, that was my mum, my father and my brother. And lack of enthusiasm and hope. I've now got 20 minutes. I've got everything in my notepad on video, and I'm going to watch this every week from now on until I reach a point where I don't need it anymore. Hopefully something I said there is interesting and amusing. I think you can see I'm a bit fired up at the moment, but I need to be. I'm not going to get anywhere unless I fire myself up and stick a bomb up that ass. You have an amazing day. Do whatever it takes for you to be healthy, happy, enthusiastic, and have hope. And I will upload this now and go and eat 4 quarter pounders. I'm not that hungry, but I'm going to put enough beef down me that I literally, the thought of eating anything is... Have an amazing day, you guys, and take care. See you later. Bye.